All right, what's up, y'all, man? Welcome back to Psychological Gymnastics. Today, we're going to talk about adverse childhood experiences or childhood wounds. In the early 1990s, the CDC and Kaiser Permanente discovered that exposure dramatically increases the risk for 7 out of 10 of the leading causes of death in the United States of America. High doses of this affects brain development, the immune system, the hormonal systems, and even the way our DNA is transcribed. What we do know is that people who have been abused or had parents who were in and out of the jail systems or the prison systems who weren't there, right? Who could have possibly caused abandonment issues, or as the world says, mommy and daddy issues, or these people, or even had a parent with mental health issues. These children grow on to develop nervousness tics, right? We want to talk about the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. The amygdala is in and sends us into fight or flight response mode. The emotional brain is activated. Our kidneys are misfunctioning. The adrenal gland is trying to process the stress. The cortex is being the watchtower, always scanning. You have people who are in a constant state of anxiety. And this comes from the way our DNA becomes structured. We've discussed in the past about a 2018 epigenetic study about the markers and the different DNA structures of how anxiety affects our brain development, keeps us in a traumatic state of mind, which is kind of survival brain, that fight or flight. And that's cool for when you're in the mountains and there's a bear there, right? But for some of us, for some people, when you get home, the bear is not there and you're still in fight or flight. I would suggest, as a clinical mental health professional, based on the understanding that the advanced distress systems are really kind of more focused in the physiological side of our makeup, right? From early childhood wounds or adverse childhood experiences. We probably just need a full medical checkup sometimes because, something like DBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy, CBT, ACT, these things may or may not work if the physiological aspect of your body has been hijacked by childhood trauma. It affects your health across a lifetime. We see that it leads to high blood pressure, actually the cause of cancer. Your body becomes, normalized in an acidic state. We see that it causes ADHD, where kids become hyper and they have pressured speech and a flight of ideas because they're always kind of worried. And some people say scattered brain or flight of ideas. These things are something that, we have to take into consideration, knowing that our sympathetic nervous system is a part of the accelerator, right? And the parasympathetic is a part of the brakes, right? It applies the brakes, the calming mechanism. The neocortex is our thinking and, rational brain. Sometimes that's hard to engage when we're in our emotional brain, right? Thinking about these things, I just want to say that make sure that you check with your prescriber, talk to your medical provider. If you're experiencing anxiety and you just can't seem to really kind of regulate your emotions or, trust or others, or, you can't really communicate effectively sometimes due to the emotional insupport of your brain that's kind of all over the place. You're emotionally dysregulated. These could be signs and symptoms of early childhood trauma, or ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. We know when we do these tests, or we perform these ACEs assessments on individuals, or these screenings, that somebody with one marker somebody with just one mark on these screens can be screened for high blood pressure later on in life. The probability of high blood pressure or stroke or heart attack is there. People with four, can go up to having cancer, and I mean the study the CDC kind of came out with in the 90s. It had a lot of biological, psychological, physiological information there, neurological. I mean, it kind of covered the I guess I would say the vast span of symptoms or causes of death that people experience who's been exposed to adverse childhood experiences. So my advice to you would be to go get a checkup, talk to your mental health professional, talk to a psychiatrist, talk to somebody if you struggle with any of these things that I just discussed here. If it's hard to kind of regulate your insecurity when somebody's leaving you, or your boyfriend, you think somebody's cheating on you, or your girlfriend or something like that, it's probably from some attachment issues or different attachment styles, or and those kind of develop from in our early childhood. So once again, this is about our I would say early childhood trauma or childhood trauma, and adverse childhood experiences and the physiological aspects that it has on our life. And with that, I just wanted to say this was a quick educational video. I am not your specific professional. I am a clinical mental health professional in my state, and I do the work every day. I just want to say shout out to the clients that come see me. Thank you for allowing me to be a safe space, or to have a safe space to help you kind of process some of these emotions and some of these trials and tribulations that you guys go through. I have a very warming office. I hope that is sufficient enough for my people to be comfortable. I think it is. A lot of you guys come back over and over and over. Shout out to everybody coming to the groups on Wednesdays and Fridays. We will be starting the group on Monday as well, 6 to 8. Wednesdays is our childhood trauma. Fridays are the childhood trauma. Wednesdays are the DBT group. Mondays, we're going to start virtual ACT. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Y'all have a blessed day.